Nathan, so what we're going to be reviewing today, in my mind, is the ultimate German luxury sedan. And why is that?
Because it costs $100,000.
No. Look under the hood.
TDI, baby.
That's right. This A8 gets, get this, Nathan, 28 MPG combined.
And that's with Quattro all-wheel drive.
And that is coming up next on the Fast Lane Car.
Mighty, powerful, efficient. Yeah, look, this is an incredible engine because not only is it a 3-liter V6, it's a TDI V6. And the reason that matters is because despite the fact it puts out 240 horsepower, it puts out 406 pound-feet of torque. That is amazing. And as you can see, heavy padding on their shroud, so they actually have a reason for having it there. And then, of course, if you look at the engine, well, I think it's actually better to have the shroud on it. I mean, it's a diesel V6, but it is hooked up to an 8-speed Tiptronic automatic transmission, feeding all 4 wheels because it is Quattro. Very impressive.
My man, let's take it for a spin.
I am so comfortable.
It is so comfortable, isn't it? This is a really comfortable car.
You know, I'd really like to put this up against the new Mercedes-Benz S-Class, not just because we haven't had a chance to drive it, but because I saw the interior, saw some pictures, saw it live. That torque feels so good. You know, it's like a surge. Oh.
Yeah, you know, people always talk about horsepower, but let's face it, real men are all about torque.
Well,
because that's what gives you the acceleration. That's what gives you that kind of, you know.
Yeah, but I look at it this way: horsepower is what gets the heart pumping, and torque is what gets the legs moving.
One of the best interiors in its class. There, I said it. Of course, I haven't driven the new S-Class. Hint, hint, Mercedes. But the interior of this Audi is phenomenal. It is elegant, it is stylish, it is comfortable. Everything you touch is real, everything is soft. It feels like you're sitting inside of a Rolex watch. That's how good it is.
This doesn't feel like a diesel though, does it?
No, it doesn't feel like a diesel. And the only time you know that it's a diesel is not when you're cruising, because you can't hear it, of course. It's dead quiet in here. Listen, guys. Nothing, just some rocks.
And a rodent that you ran over.
Yeah. But the only time you can tell is when you floor it like this. And that's when you can feel that torque. Of course, like all diesel engines, it does kind of fall off the cliff right there at some point. But the 8-speed does do a really good job in keeping it in its power band, which is a great plus for an 8-speed.
There is something sexy about Audis. I make no secret of the fact that I happen to love, personally, the A5/S5. And this is like a bigger version of it to me. It has the same type of taut lines, and at the same time there are slight curves here and there, giving it a subtle beauty. And check out the front end with those jeweled headlights, the LEDs. Everybody copies it. So in the next few years, they'll change it, and then they'll change it again, and they'll change it again. And everybody's going to be catching up because Audi sets the standard for front end style.
All right, Nathan, I'm going to take this corner pretty quick. Let's see how the suspension does.
You got it.
Level, planted, secure. You know, it doesn't provide the most road feel. I mean, this car is very insulated and isolated from the rest of the world, right? That's what luxury is about. It's quiet, it's comfortable, and it does transmit maybe 50% of the road feel. But having said that, that 50% that comes through is really useful because you can tell when you're about to hit an apex of a curb. You can tell when you hit a bump that it is muted but not completely dull, so that you can't feel what the wheels are doing.
Well, the bottom line is if you really want that type of performance and you're serious about it, get the S8.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's a completely different car. Completely different car. It doesn't even feel the same with the brakes or regular acceleration. They're just completely different vehicles. This one's much softer and much more luxurious.
Nathan, it's the small things that Audi does so well. These little LED lights, the little vanity mirrors. But having said that, this isn't the small car, it's the L.
This is the L model, so it's the longer wheelbase. And because of that, even big, juicy guys like us can fit back here. And may I point out a few things? The little bits of wood trim with the tiny bits of chrome, or actually I think it looks more like polished aluminum, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just phenomenal. It's an attention to detail that you'd expect, but oftentimes you don't see, and that's what makes it so elegant and such a great place to be. You know, I love driving cars, but I could see myself in the back of this car.
Yeah, and putting me in a hat and driving you around, right?
Yes, of course.
That's what I thought. Yes, I'm gushing over the car, but I can point out a couple minor flaws. One, even though all these little things pop out and that's really cool and everything, I think that the MMI in this is still a little difficult to use. That's the kind of like the same thing as iDrive. It's the infotainment system. I just think it's a little complicated, and with the interior all black, it kind of hides all the cool little things they did with all the lines and everything. I think it's much better looking white.
Yeah, black is a new black.
Black is the new black.
I agree. It's a little too busy. You know, they still haven't figured it out. Somebody needs to amplify. By that I mean, you know, take a very complicated and very functional interface and make it easy to understand and easy to use, the way Apple does on the iPhone or any of their products.
Yeah, it's mostly the HVAC system, heating and air conditioning system, that's on here with all the buttons. It's a little much for me.
It was my lane departure warning.
Oh, that's another thing that's a bit of an issue. It likes to buzz and tell you and scream at you in German.
Yeah, the safety nannies are very prevalent in these expensive cars because obviously they want to showcase all the technology that you can stuff into this thing, and most of that has to do with safety, and that means all kinds of buzzers and beepers and warnings, and there it goes again.
Yeah, so it's like a haptic system that buzzes the steering wheel, but in this car it's really a serious buzz.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the co-driver will know that you've just crossed the line, and if that happens to be your wife or girlfriend, she may have an issue with that.
Just maybe a small issue with that. It's kind of like an angry German hitting you with a ruler or something like that, saying, "Nine, you would go into the right lane." Yeah, I can hear it from here easily.
Yeah. You don't necessarily want that much intrusiveness. Having said that, you know, you can turn it off. So,
do you know how?
No,
me neither.
I have no clue. There's too many buttons. All right, it's not about the exhaust note on a diesel. You know that. It sounds like a percolator. It's really all about the torque. And let's find out how fast this torque will take this Audi from 0 to 60. All right, guys, I've got it in sport mode. Remember, we are a mile above sea level, less air density. That means it is going to be slower. To be honest, I don't even know if it has launch mode, but I'm just going to floor it this time and see how fast it goes. All right, here we go. 0 to 60 in the Audi A8 TDI. Oh, yeah. Whoops, kind of fell off a cliff there. And here comes 60. 7.30. I bet we could do better than that. That just felt like it wasn't giving me everything that it had. So let's try it one more time. Well, there you have it. That time I just floored it. Look at the time. Just over 8 seconds. So the trick here is you have to brake torque it. And brake torquing it means that you step on the brake, you step on the accelerator, and you let the engine build up some steam, or in this case, diesel torque, and then you let go of the brake and let the car accelerate. And the fastest time we got was 7.30 having done that, which is very impressive for a big luxury car. Good job, Audi. I'm impressed. All right, Nathan, on the TFL scale of buy it, lease it, rent it, or forget it, what do you give the Audi A8 TDI?
I gotta tell you, for $100,000, which is about what this thing costs, it's a hell of a bargain. It's got economy, sport, power. It's got everything that's super cool. You know what? I say buy it.
Buy it. Exactly right. This just came up by itself and down. What did you do?
I touched it.
You touched it?
I stroked it lightly and then it went up.
It must like you.
It must like me.
As always, this is Roman reporting for the Fast Lane Car along with
Nathan.
And remember, check out tflcar.com for more car reviews.
And subscribe for a new video every day.
Ciao.
Observe, very easy to move these seats forward like that, huh? And there's enough room for an average size adult to get into the way back, and very easy for the kids too. And by the way, on the bench seat on the lower models, you could still do this on both sides.
All right, Nathan, get back there. Let's see how easy it is.
Everybody wants to look at my big ass. I'll tell you right now, it's just not what but it's pretty easy compared to some of the other cars out there. Look at that. Yeah. See it?
Oh, sorry, Nathan. Sorry.
Oh, hey! I'm not coming back here again.